Hey everyone, it's Keela here, and today I'm sharing a layout and a process video for Scrap Academy. Um, Now, Rebecca shared our Scraplift choice for this month on the Scrap Academy Facebook group this morning, and I'm now going to show you my take on the Scraplift. I'm going to talk about what inspired me about this month's Scraplift. I'm also going to try and cover a few of the topics that are being covered this month. Um, One of those is cut files, and the second one is journaling, and I'm going to show you how I add journaling to my layouts. Now the cut file, the one of the main design elements on the page was the circle element. I decided to use a cut file for mine. I purchased my cut file on the Silhouette store, and it's a design by Paige Evans. She makes absolutely gorgeous cut files. Now I have a Silhouette portrait too, which means I can only cut in A4 size. So I do have to have a play on the Silhouette software and shrink some of my cut files down a little bit so that they fit within the cutting area and they don't get chopped off and things like that. I do have to be careful, especially with quite intricate cut files. Sometimes when I'm shrinking them down, it does cause some issues with cutting, but with the cut file that I've chose today, I didn't have any issues and it cut beautifully. The collection that I'm going to be working with today is Cocoa Vanilla Studio Unforgettable. And for this collection, I've not got much left. It is literally just paper scraps and a couple of embellishments. I do have a few of the butterflies from one of the pattern papers. I chopped quite a few of those up for fussy cutting just to create some extra embellishments on my page. And that was one of the reasons I decided to work with this collection today, is the butterflies. In the original layout, on the circle, it looked like some of the butterflies were kind of flying around the circle. So I kind of wanted to kind of recreate that on my page as well. Now I do have some of the title stickers left, but none of them really worked with the story that I'm scrapbooking today. Now, I had a look in my stash and I found some rub-ons that were from an old Mind the Scrap kit that I got a year or so ago. I had used some of them, but I had quite a few of them left, and I spotted this one that said "Hello, beautiful," and I tested it out first before I started filming, just to see if if they still worked after being in my drawer for some time. And they rubbed on beautifully, and I thought it made the perfect title for this page. In the original layout as well, there was a border around the entire layout. Now I don't have any pieces of paper in this collection big enough, so I decided to add a strip of pattern paper at the top and a strip of pattern paper at the bottom. I have distressed all the edges of my pattern paper. I just love the look of this, and I don't have a fancy distressing tool or anything like that. I use just my scissors to rough up the edges, and I'll sometimes use my fingers just to bend the paper back a little bit. And I really like how this looks, even though I've not got the full border like in the original layout. I really do feel like adding these little strips of pattern paper really do kind of ground everything. And I really love how that looks. So the photo that I'm going to be scrapbooking today, which I've already attached that on, is just a really cute photo of my daughter Darcy. There is a story to go along with it, which we were just out on a walk. I think we were walking back from town. It was a nice day, and we were quite close to home, and she'd spotted this patch of grass. And like most toddlers do, they spot grass and they want to go running in it. And she did just that. And it just reminded me of when me and my sisters were little, and we used to love running along this same patch of grass. So I felt like it was a really nice story to document. And here's my kitten Max. He likes to hang around on my desk. He likes to chew my pencils. And he also loves the back of double-sided sticky tape. He will play with that for ages. He's a little menace at the moment. He is like a toddler. He's kind of into everything. So I've added some of the fussy cut butterflies onto onto my wreath, and I really love how they look. I do off camera at the end add one more butterfly at the top. I didn't notice until looking at my layout at the end. It just looked odd, and I felt like I needed to add one more. So you will see that in the close-ups at the end. I've added another rub-on to the wreath, and I'm going to come in now with some gems and scatter them all around my wreath. In the original layout there was lots of pearls and wood veneer and lots of just little bits which made the circle element on the page. So I wanted to add some little bits just to add a little bit of extra interest and sparkle to my page. So now here's where I add my journaling to my layout. Now normally I'll wait till I've got a bit of a stack of layouts, and then I'll do all the journaling for those and then add them to my albums. I do prefer to keep the journaling side of things quite private and just keep that for family and friends to read. But on this occasion, because one of the topics covered this month, I felt like it was, it was a good time to share how I add my journaling to my pages. So I do prefer printed journaling. I have attempted handwritten journaling, but I really don't like how my own handwriting looks. And most of the time after I've give it a go, I have covered it up. So what I do is I type it up on my laptop, print it off, and then I'll cut that into strips. And then I'll add those onto my layout. I also print off the date as well. I don't have a date stamp or anything else that I can really add a date on with, so I do add the date by printing that off as well. Now I'll use my T-square ruler to make sure the first strip of journaling is straight, and then I'll use that first strip as a guide then to add the rest of my journaling. I don't always do this central, but because of the fact that sometimes some of the strips are longer than the other, so I kind of do them a little bit skew-whiff on the page, but I quite like how that looks. So here's my completed layout. Thank you everyone for watching. Goodbye.